This video demonstrates how to complete a work order in Cityworks Anywhere. Start by logging into Cityworks using your username and password. One method of locating the work order you would like to complete is by using the Identify Event button. Click the button and then select the work order icon off of the map. You can also select multiple events on the map, which will open a search window in which you can choose the work order you would like to complete. Another method is by manually searching for the work order you would like to complete. Click the Search Work Orders button. Choose the name of the individual who the work order is submitted to from the drop-down. Check the Open box at the bottom of the window and then click Search. Locate the work order you would like to complete and then double-click. Click the General tab of the work order. Change the status of the work order to Complete. Change the Submit To drop-down to whoever views the work orders after they are complete. This is usually the supervisor. Change the Completed By drop-down to whoever completed the work order. Fill out the actual start and actual finish date. Add any comments necessary on the Comments tab, being as descriptive as possible. Click the Details tab of the work order. If there is a project related to the work order, click in the Project field and choose the project from the folder hierarchy. In this case, our maintenance doesn't have a project. Choose an expense type. Here, the options are either maintenance or capital. Since we conducted a repair, we will leave the maintenance option selected. Now, let's go to the Labor button. Attach all employees that worked in relation to this work order. To do so, choose to search by employee name. On the drop-down menu, type in the first letter of the last name of the employee and select the name from the list. Our next step is to fill out the start date, the hours, and the finish date. Find what type of work the employee was completing. Before adding the employee to the list below, you must go to the Entities tab and then highlight all of the entities that particular employee worked on. As a note, you can select multiple entities. Once all relevant entities are highlighted, click Add. You should now see the employee plus all related entities populate in the list below. One note: when selecting multiple entities for one employee, the number of hours the employee worked is divided by the number of entities and then correspondingly attached to each entity. For instance, this employee worked 10 hours altogether and worked on 2 entities, so each entity has 5 hours attached. Our next step is to go to the Material button. Attach all materials used during the completion of this work order. To do so, choose to search by material name and then use the corresponding drop-down to locate the material. Once the materials are located, fill out the date and the number of units used. Before adding the materials, go to the Entities tab and highlight all of the entities that current material was utilized for. Again, you can select multiple entities. When you have highlighted all relevant entities, click the Add button. Our next step is to go to the Equipment button. Attach all equipment used during the completion of this work order. To do so, choose to search by equipment name and then use the corresponding drop-down to locate the equipment. Fill out the start date, the units, the hours, and the finish date. Don't get the units and the hours mixed up. For instance, for a vehicle, the hour should be the driving time. For tools or heavy equipment, the hour should be the time the equipment was in use. Before adding the equipment, go to the Entities tab and select all of the entities that equipment used, and then click Add. Finally, go to the Custom tab. Check any required fields denoted by a Y. For required fields denoted by a Y, double-click the field and choose the correct value. Finished filling out all required information for completing the work order, click Save in the upper left-hand corner. On behalf of Global Water, I'd like to thank you for watching.